Good evening, Ananda. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are celebrating and commemorating International Infection Prevention Week from October 19 to 25, in short known as IIPW, which is observed every third week of October to educate stakeholders and the general public on the importance of preventing the spread of illness and infectious agents. This year it is held from October 19 to 25. Infections ranging from hospital-acquired to those found in homes or workplaces can compromise healthcare workers' efforts and have a detrimental impact on public health. Every year, secondary infections cause thousands of health concerns in hospitals. Global pandemics are also sparked by rapid spread of infections, pathogens. The IIP's goal is to learn more about infection, work prevention, and how it might help improve safety. So in 1986, President Ronald Reagan of the US established the International Infection Prevention Week to be observed every third week in October. It was formed to solve the problem of infections plaguing the nation. From the United States, this week has spread throughout the Europe, Asia, Africa, and other regions of the world. This week, events are spearheaded by the Association of Professionals in Infection Control and Epidemiology, in short known as APIC. Every year since its inception over the 3 decades ago, themes that revolve around infection prevention are set by APIC. Presentations and publications about the said theme are made to keep everyone abreast of the latest trends in preventing infections. Poor hospital and hygienic practices rank high among the leading causes of infections The World Health Organization confirmed that by saying no country, no healthcare facility, even with the most advanced and sophisticated healthcare systems, can claim to be free of the problem of HAIs. In the US alone, a report by CDC showed that at least 2 million illness and 23,000 deaths are caused by antibiotic resistant bacteria each year. So this number rises in areas where sanitary procedures are lax and healthcare facilities are poorly administered. This week is also commemorated as Healthcare Quality Week in US, which is observed in the third week of October each year. It will be held 19 to 25 this year. It celebrates healthcare quality professionals for their unique sacrifices, ensuring quality service delivery, and to appreciate the improvements recorded in healthcare facilities over the years due to their efforts. It is also a week to spread awareness of the importance of quality healthcare services and make policies that will facilitate and guarantee the safety of both patients and healthcare professionals. By estimates, over 45% of deaths at healthcare facilities are due to lack of quality service delivery, a fact that makes healthcare quality delivery urgent. Today is also commemorated as National Veterinary Technician Week, this entire week from October 19 to 25, which is observed annually in the third week of October, and this year it will be held from 19 to 25. It appreciates the dedication of veterinary technicians and creates awareness about the work they perform to keep our pets healthy and safe. This week-long holiday also recognizes the various roles played by veterinary technicians and their dedication to the well-being of our furry friends. This week is also commemorated as National Towns Week in Philippines, which is held in the last week of October, celebrated by the Towns Foundation to honor the outstanding women who serve the Philippines in a variety of capacities. The outstanding women in nation service or towns. The award is given every 3 years to recognize the accomplishments of women in all disciplines, particularly those who have aided the country's potential and progress. To select the best individuals, the foundation accepts nominations and performs a year-long search that covers the entire country and in some instances the whole world. This week is also commemorated as Respiratory Care Week from October 19th to 25th in US, Canada, and also internationally. Respiratory Care Week gives us a little more breathing room annually on October 19th to 30th. Hardworking doctors, nurses, and respiratory therapists, primarily in the US and Canada, care for patients with breathing difficulties due to chronic conditions like asthma. Respiratory Care Week highlights the information we need to keep us breathing well so we can enjoy a great quality of life. So, Healthy Lung Month is the entire month of October. So, take a deep breath and enjoy. Many organizations have joined forces to educate the public about the importance of protecting our lungs against general neglect, bronchitis, mold, air pollution, and smoking. Bottom line is if we take care of our lungs will take care of us. This week is also commemorated as World Awareness Week in US from October 19 to 25th. World Awareness Week takes place to create awareness. Worlds feel safer than ever have and attract special and humane attention from the human race Once a widely distributed mammal in northern hemisphere, these fascinating animals are now only found in few nations where they are still threatened with extinction. This event educates the public about the importance of wolves in ecosystem and why it is critical to aid in their conservation. This week, wildlife conservation reigns supreme. Wolves flourished in their natural environments about a century ago with a population of nearly 2 million. These highly gregarious animals were hunted in the wild with every weapon available in the early 1990s, and their entire number was reduced by hundreds of thousands. As a result, in 1973, the federal government designated wolves as the most endangered species in the US. Only tens of thousands of wolves remain in the wild in captivity today. Today is also commemorated as World Humanitarian Action Day, which is observed on October 19th every year. This day is reserved to show special appreciation and respect to the martyrs of the humanitarian causes. The observation calls for a mass global display of public transport and support for humanitarian action. When the governing bodies fall, the non-profits and humanitarian organizations set up. But serving humanity by being on the front line has severe consequences that can often turn fatal. World Humanitarian Action Day honors the ones who died while saving others. People from around the world are encouraged to join humanitarian organizations such as UNICEF, Red Cross, and others and become active messengers of humanity. World Humanitarian Action Day recognizes the frontline warriors who face adversity and danger to help others in need. Some of the themes in the past years have been chartered for compassion and eradicating extreme hunger. World Humanitarian Action Day is an opportunity to celebrate the spirit of global humanitarian initiatives and the work of humanitarian forces around the globe. Although the appeal for a humane world remains at the top of the agenda, the day primarily honors the volunteers, workers, and support staff who have sacrificed their lives to the cause. The definition of the humanitarian action is to maintain human dignity, alleviate suffering, and save lives without any regard for race, gender, ethnicity, political affiliation, or religion. The oath of humanitarian action serves the most vulnerable people who need external support to return their normal lives after surviving the destructive impact of complex emergencies, natural disasters, or war. World Humanitarian Action Day is followed by World Humanitarian Day and other United Nations affiliated holidays to keep up the global sense of momentum charted by the members of the group called the Messengers of the Humanity. The day calls for some social media action, with members sharing success and failures of global humanitarian aid to amplify their common message. Humanitarians around the world deserve our praise and support for saving millions of lives and selflessly serving billions of people. The day also examines the boundaries of humanitarianism and agrees that while humanitarian aid will always be available, it is preferable to work towards a better, more humane society in which the need for it does not exist. Today is also commemorated as World Pediatric Bone and Joint Day in US on every October 19th. According to the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, more than 126 million Americans are impacted by the musculoskeletal conditions. Many causes are brought on by obesity developed during the childhood. World Pediatric Bone and Joint highlights obesity screening and prevention. This day also looks at symptoms, treat economic impact. While the first Pediatric Bone and Joint Day, or PB&J Day, wasn't celebrated until 2012, orthopedic medicine has for longer routes. Originally, the term orthopedic referred specifically to the correction of musculoskeletal deformities in children. Nicolas Sandry, who was a professor of medicine at the University of Paris, coined the term in his textbook published in 1741. This book, which was directed towards parents and advocated for exercise manipulation and splinting to treat child bone deformities. 40 years later, in 1780, Jean Andre Venel opened the first orthopedic institute, which was dedicated to treating children's skeletal deformities. The modern hip replacement was introduced in the 1960s by English tribologist Sir John Chanley, who made the connection that implants can be used to replace joint surfaces. He designed a one-piece stainless steel formal stem and head and acetabular component, both of which were used to fix bone along with bone cement. The Chanley low friction anthroplasty and designs that evolved from it were for the over 2 decades for the hip replacement procedure. In the 1970s, knee replacement using similar technology commenced for patients with rheumatoid arthritis. So USSR doctor Gabriel Abramovich Lizarko made a major contribution to orthopedic procedures without much training in the specialized field. Sent to look after Russian soldiers in 1950, Siberia, he came to face with crippling conditions, infections, and bone malalignments. Employing the assistance of nearby bicycle shop, he invented external ring fixators similar to the spokes on a bike. With this, he was able to heal, realign, and lengthen to an unprecedented degree. The Lizarro apparatus is still used by surgeons to this day. Today is also commemorated as World Toy Camera Day internationally around the world on the third Sunday of October on October 19th. Despite the name, toy cameras are functional cameras that can take pictures. Since they are cheap models, they don't have any controls, but photographers still like to use them as their distortions make for very interesting photos. American photographer Becky Ramotsky was inspired by the Pinhole Photography Day to create a day that would celebrate the kind of photos a toy camera would take. She decided that going forward, the third Sunday of October would be celebrated as World Toy Camera Day, and it caught on. Today, photographers around the world celebrate the blurry, distorted photos taken by toy cameras. Being inexpensive film cameras that are built within sample lenses, toy cameras don't have a lot of features, and it's hard to predict what kind of photos might emerge from a toy camera. But good photographers have been able to use them to take artistic photographs. There has been a growing interest in the kind of effects that a toy camera produces in photographs since the 1990s. These effects, such as lens flares, light leaks, vignettes, and distortions, all add texture and points of interest to an otherwise flat photograph. While these effects can be applied to digital photograph with filters, the photos taken on toy cameras are still unique. Even if you aren't a professional, toy camera photography is a fun way to get it used to taking photos and have a fun with camera. The photos always have a nostalgic vintage effect with them, no filters required. Today is also commemorated as Sunday School Teacher Appreciation Day on October 19th, which is celebrated on third Sunday of October every year. Falling on October 19 this year, Sunday school teachers are not always formally trained teachers. Instead, they are often regular people who decide to dedicate their time to teach kids about their faith. Today is also commemorated as National New Friends Day on October 19th in US, which is all about making room for new connections in your life and celebrating the potential for friendship everywhere you go. Research has found Research has found time and again the strong support is a key to living your happiest, most fulfilled life. So get out there and add some new friends to your docket. So you need your friends, both old and new. National Make a Friend Day arrives annually on February 11th. It's a day for taking stock of all your friendships and looking for ways to add to your personal universe. A new friendship can open up to new experiences. Friends provide us with the comfort of a safe emotional space where we can be ourselves. Good friends are our biggest treasure. Friendship matters. On National Friendship Day, every August 4th, you have a chance to reflect on the friendships that improve your quality of life. One of the great things about the friends is that you can discuss important things with them that you might never share with your family. That's because good friends are the family that you choose to celebrate them on National Friendship Day. The United Nations General Assembly put such a high value on the power of friendships as they proclaimed July 30 as International Day of Friendship. The internet has enabled people to reach across the digital divide to connect with those who may be a life completely different from our own. Developing international friendships help our humanity. Today is also commemorated as National Kentucky Day on October 19th in US, celebrated every year. It recognizes the moment in the history when Kentucky was approved into statehood. Rich in history and known as a bluegrass state, Kentucky had its own share of ups and downs, but that didn't stop the state from progressing and making a mark. National Kentucky Day is special not only because of the struggles the region faced, but also because was the first to enter the Union among states west of Appalachian Mountains. So on this day, Americans celebrate Kentucky and its history with a great zeal and pride. Today is also commemorated as LGBT Center Awareness Day in US on October 19th every year to celebrate the assistance and facilities provided by the LGBTQ community centers throughout the country. The Awareness Day, inaugurated by the Centrelink in 1994, is an initiative to support the development of peer-friendly community centers. The centers are essential to the LGBTQ community because they provide freely accessible community service to members. These services include mental health counseling, cultural and educational programs, recreational activities, libraries, support groups, etc. The day was conceived to draw attention to the importance of community centers, which became a significant part of the LGBTQ movement. Today is also commemorated as Evaluate Your Life Day on October 19th every year. offering a time to reflect on our lives with the aim of becoming better versions of ourselves. It gives us opportunity to check with ourselves and assess whether we are still on the right track. So, Evaluate Your Life Day was created by Thomas Ruth Roy, founders of Wealth at All Days. The website specializes in creating quirky and fun holidays for celebrating life. So far, they have created about 80 existing holidays, including For the Love of Mike and a Rome of One's Own Day. So, Evaluate Your Life is all about self evaluation and self assessment, which involves assessing yourself in terms of what goals you have achieved. This assessment is called carried out with the aim of becoming better and not for purpose of self-judgment or criticism. In 1998, the self-evaluation maintenance model was formulated by Abraham Tesser, a distinguished professor of research at the University of Georgia. The theory posits that two people who are in relationship boost their psychological contentment by carrying out comparisons to each other. The theory assumes that two standpoints: one, that a person will attempt to boost or enhance their own self evaluation, and two, that this self evaluation is influenced by one's relationship with others. The theory also advances that a person's self evaluation may increase when a person close to him or her also have a positive experience. This balance goes both ways and is referred to as reflection or comparison. In the reflection, and the closer the relationship, the greater the success. However, in comparison, the success of a close other may decrease. The person's self evaluation as a result of negative comparison. So on, evaluate your life. It's important even when faced with unpleasant aspects of life to maintain a positive outlook. Evaluate your life through the lens of kindness and not judgment. So, with this, we shall end today's commemorations. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before leaving the platform. Today, we are also commemorating Naraka Chaturdasi, which is celebrated on Monday, that is October 20, because it is starting in the afternoon. It has started the Chaturdashi Tithi, which has begun in the afternoon at 5:51 p.m. on October 19th, that is today, and will end tomorrow at 3:44. Then the Amavasya starts. So 5 days Diwali festival starts on Dhantrayodashi and lasts on Bhai Dooj. So Abhyang Snan has been suggested on 3 days, that is Chaturdasi, Amavasya, and Pratipada days during the Diwali. So Abhyang Snan on Chaturdasi day, which is popularly known as Naraka Chaturdasi, is the most significant one. It is believed that the people who do Abhyang Snan on that day can avoid going to Narak. So till sesame oil should be used for Uptan during Abhyang Snan. So Abhyang Snan on Narak Chaturthi might be one day before the same day of Lakshmi Puja. when Chaturdasi Tithi prevails before the sunrise and Amavasya Tithi prevails after the sunset, then Narak Chaturdasi and Lakshmi Puja fall on the same day, like tomorrow. So Abhyang Snan is always done during moonrise, but before sunrise, while Chaturdasi Tithi is prevailing. So Muhurta window for Abhyang Snan is between moonrise and sunrise, while Chaturdasi Tithi prevails. So it is tomorrow. Naraka Chaturdasi day is also known as Choti Diwali, Roop Chaturdasi, and Roop Chaudhas. Often, Narak Chaturdasi is considered same as Kali Chaudas. However, both are two different festivals observed on the same Tithi, and depending on the start and end timing of Chaturdasi, Tithi might fall on two different consecutive days. It is said that the demon Narakasura had special and spread terror across the three worlds with his tyranny, arrogance, and injustice. All beings, including gods and demons, were distressed by the oppression. On the day of Chaturdasi, Lord Krishna, embodying righteousness, slayed Narakasura and liberated 16,000 captive maidens, the Gopikas. Hence, every year, the Chaturdasi of Kartika Mas is celebrated as Roop Chaudas. So there are several traditional practices that are performed on Roop Chaudas, which should be observed on this auspicious occasion, like Abhyanga Snan with oil, which is also known as Uptan bath. Before sunrise, it is customary to take bath using Uptan, a traditional paste, and oil. This practice regenerates the body and enhances beauty. Deepdan lighting lamps is at the main entrance, prayer area, kitchen, and near the Tulsi plant. Lamps dispel both inner and outer darkness and symbolize prosperity and happiness. House cleaning and rangoli: clean the house and decorate it with rangoli and fresh fragrant flowers at the entrance. Food and prasadam: prepare special dishes and share them with neighbors, family members, and with the community. This is considered a virtuous act during Diwali, fostering social harmony and love. Aarti and worship: devote yourself to remembering the deities with devotion, chanting mantras, and performing Aarti. Conduct the puja and light lamps with full dedication. So, Deepam holds special significance on Roop Chaudas. Scriptures and folks' beliefs highlight specific places where lighting lamps bring special merits. At main entrance, lighting a lamp at the main entrance to welcome Goddess Lakshmi and invite prosperity into the home. Prayer hall or area or temple, place a lamp in front of deities to symbolize devotion and spiritual connection. Lighting a lamp in the kitchen invokes the blessings of Goddess Annapurna, ensuring abundance. The Tulsi plant is considered sacred. Lighting a lamp here maintains purity and spirituality. Lighting lamps in courtyards, terrace, shops, workplaces, and corners of the house and balconies, windows to ensure positivity and illumination throughout. So Naraka Chaturdasi inspires us to dispel the darkness within our minds. Just as we light lamps to brighten our homes, we must ignite the lamp of truth, righteousness, and virtue to illuminate our lives. This day teaches us that Lord Krishna, who vanquished Narakasura to free the world from fear, we must destroy the ego and sins within us, symbolized as Narakasura, to experience the true happiness, peace, and divinity in life. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us. We wish you all happy Naraka Chaturdasi and happy Diwali, Deepavali to all. And your family members and friends. So see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link with different commemorations and celebrations. Take care. Good night.